of robbers.
You guys didn't know.
Thanks for the notification.
But there was the first group of thieves that we dealt with, and then all the Darrow and Duragar decloaked and jumped us.
Yes. Did they attack the other group too? Or were they already all indisposed?
I think they were already indisposed because then the guards had come in to assist us a little bit.
Yeah. So I wonder if those are two separate groups of people, of thieves.
I would assume so.
So we have Lonelywood, was it?
Mhm.
The town that Icarus said the symbol was from. So we have Lonelywood, and then we have Targos. So we have two different groups of individuals interested in stealing. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Daneth is in on it with one of those groups. Maybe not.
Could be. You never know.
Hmm.
You never know.
So what do y'all want to do?
It's a good question. What do we want to do?
I don't know, man. Deception around every corner right now.
Yeah, seriously. I don't trust anyone. It's you.
Do you want to rest where the cauldron is?
I think a rest probably wouldn't be a bad idea because we're all in pretty rough shape.
Okay. Sure.
Maybe we try and move the cauldron into one of the closet rooms so it's not like right next to the door.
Sure. That's fair. So you do that. The cauldron is still pretty heavy. And after about maybe half an hour or so, a ton of guardsmen show up. Hearing about what has happened, and there's this whole investigation that goes on and everything. And basically, it was you. If you want, you can tell the authorities what you learned from the thieves, or you cannot tell them. They obviously know you're there to help protect it, so you're not in any way incriminated against whatsoever. But there's now basically a wall of guardsmen around the entire perimeter of the town hall, and there's a lot of guardsmen in the room with you, where the cauldron is.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should share the Targos and the swirly symbol?
As useful as that is, I think it might be in our best interest not to.
Okay.
Because we don't know who the guards know.
Exactly.
And this way we can make our way to Targos and kind of go in undetected to a degree, or at least unexpected.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. So I'll share everything but those two key pieces.
Okay. Yeah. So they're very happy about that. And the guardsmen on some level let you know that they've got it from here. If you want to help guard the cauldron, you can. But there's probably about 100 guardsmen or so.
Holy crap.
There's a lot.
And these are all Daneth men, technically.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is Danica Greysteel there, the leader of the guard?
Yes, she is. She is there. You notice she's not really talking to you as much as maybe she did before. She seems preoccupied with something.
Yeah, she came in with what's his face too, right?
Icarus, yeah.
Yeah.
And she seemed pretty intimidated.
Or was that Imdra?
Oh, no, that was Imdra.
Imdra.
Yeah. That was Imdra, not great. There's not.
I'm sorry.
I know, that's okay. There's
too many.
I know there's too many NPCs. Sorry. I know. I need to make like an NPC tome, so we know who's who and who did what.
Dude, good memory.
Yeah.
You guys are freaking incredible.
Yeah.
I like wrote a lot of this stuff down. That's the
Yeah,
only reason I remember
yeah.
any of
It's
it.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's also been a really long time since we played. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gradually
So-
piecing together in my mind as we
Mhm.
go through.
Yeah.
Yes, but we'll just say Daneth is there, Imdra's there, everybody's there except for Daneth. So
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
they're there. You notice that Imdra kind of keeps giving you like little flashes of looks, but other than that, she seems to be telling the guardsmen very specific instructions about what to do.
Okay. I'll wait until she's done dictating some responsibilities, and I'll go up to her and be like, Indra, may I have a word in private, please?
She says, "Yes, yes."
Okay. We'll go to a room where there's no guards. So, what's going on? I'm a little confused about the situation between Daneth and Icarus and the Cauldron and these waves of attackers. What's going on here? You can be candid.
Make a persuasion check.
24.
Okay. And her tears kind of well up in her eyes, and she says, "Silas, I'm afraid I don't know what's going on with Daneth. Something has changed in him. The last few weeks, he's not himself. I hear him talking to himself in his room. There's someone in there. When I knock, when I go in, it's just him. He's been asking me to do odd requests. Things that I don't feel like are aligned with the good of East Haven or the good of the 10 towns. These strange things, like accompany Icarus and kill whoever got in our way.
Interesting.
It's never an order Daneth would give. He's a peaceful person. But lately he's been a bit aggressive and he wants bizarre things that I don't understand and relieves me of my duties to do menial, strange tasks. His room is filled with odd bits and baubles and candles, and at night through the window I can see him doing some sort of prayer. And this strange light emanates from his room. I have to tell you, I'm scared.
What color is the light?
It's like a light blue. And it's very, very faint, but I can see it. I've alerted some of the other guardsmen, and they think something strange is going on. We've been trying to see if we can get some people into his house to figure out what is happening, but something unusual is going on, and I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust or who to talk to. I know you're working for him, but I feel like I can trust you.
Well, you can, and you were working for him. You're not working for the man that it sounds like he's become, or maybe he's still in there and he's being overtaken somehow. Taking a second out of character, the white lady in the ghost said, feed the people, the invisible dwarves.
Or hunger. I think she just said hungry or something like that.
Yes.
And she said hungry and invisible dwarves, yeah.
She said one other thing.
The castle on the lake or something, right?
Yes, yes.
She gave us a tip to that direction. we've encountered the invisible dwarves.
Mhm.
We've feeding the hungry with the cauldron,
Mhm.
but we still haven't found the castle on the lock, which is related to what Icarus was talking about. Wasn't he talking about some strange structure on a lake with the circle, the spiral, swirly? Did he say that, or did I miss?
He said that maybe it was connected, but he wasn't sure how.
Okay.
Yeah,
When was
something
the
to do with
last
witches,
time
yeah.
Daneth it is?
hmm
When was the last time he was in the storage building that has the cauldron in it?
I don't think you've ever seen him in there with the cauldron. You've only seen him in his house.
Because I'm not concerned about the cauldron. I'm concerned about the statue that fucks people up.
Hey,
That's
isn't
point.
it
That
a
I
prow of a
point.
ship or something?
Yeah, but I bonked
yes,
it
yes.
and broke a
yes.
part of it and had to fight off an overwhelming evil feeling. And then I used identify and figured out it's bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You might want to talk to him about that. Or someone about that. Yeah.
Because it was the statue, it was the figurehead shaped like a demon, right?
I don't even think it was a figure, wasn't it? It when we saw it, it actually like was moving.
Yeah.
It looked like a
Just a woman with her head hanging forward. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she was tied to it.
Were they like chains?
Yeah, wasn't it from like the helm of a ship though?
Yeah, the figurehead of a ship.
Yeah.
but she appeared alive.
Yeah,
in
she
a
like
night.
awoke.
And it was a ghost.
Was it crying or did I make that up?
No, she was crying.
Yeah, she was crying as if she was like a living person. Like she looked
Mhm.
disheveled, but then
Mhm.
we tried to like free her and she started
I
doing
help
evil
you.
stuff.
Yeah, there's that too. That's a good thing to bring up. Didn't they fish it out of the lock? I thought somebody told us about it.
I don't remember the background about
I
it.
think very briefly, like we asked them how they got it in there, like why it's there or something.
Yeah.
They didn't know very much.
I'll ask Imdra, and I'll
Okay.
try and console her and be like, I imagine these are confusing times for you, and we want to help in the best way that we can. And we are curious as well about this figurehead in the other room that we encountered, as it has a prevailing, incredibly intense evil entity energy emanating from it. Do you know anything about this, or where it came from, why it's here, who brought it here?
She says, I do. Icarus and his crew raised it out of the lake. Somehow using some sort of telekinesis. I'm not sure how they did it. And they hauled it out a few months ago. And hauled it here hoping for a reward. But I guess Daneth didn't know what to do with it, so he just stored it. Just stored it here.
That's fair. It's an odd item to keep in one's treasure trove.
Yes, I believe Daneth tasked them with finding this item.
You said a couple of weeks ago? that happened?
Yes, I'm going to retcon that and not say a couple months ago. I'm going to say a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was around the time or after he started acting strangely.
She says, yes, actually. I didn't think about that. That figurehead always made me feel uneasy. Something about it just didn't feel right. I never wanted to go near it.
And for good reason. We made the mistake of doing it, and they paid the price. Do you know what it's from? what its history is, by chance?
Don't. It's obviously from some sort of ship. Obviously, East Haven is a port town, and ships do come in off of Lake Dinishar from the ocean. I think the ocean has a name. Hold on. It might be the Sea of Moving Ice. I forget. I don't know. But yeah, they come in. We'll just say they come in from the Sea of Moving Ice.
Interesting. So, we don't know exactly when this vessel may have sunk.
No.
Okay.
No.
And it was in the log. Interesting. By the way, what is Icarus's situation? Can't quite get a read on him. Is he someone to be cautious of, afraid of? Is he an ally?
Well,
Bless you.
that was my roommate. Yeah. She says, he definitely has a reputation in the 10 towns, so to speak. He's willing, him and his crew are willing to do the work that many aren't or don't want to do, the dangerous work. He is a bit, as you can tell, over-the-top personality. He can be shifty. I don't know if I'd quite trust him, but people have in the past, and he's not someone I would trust. But if I had to, he might be a good ally.
Appreciate that.
He's helped me before. Not help that I wanted, but help that I needed.
That's encouraging. Now, back to the topic of Daneth. As you can tell, or as I'm sure you figured out, he double-crossed us.
She says, I know. I know.
And I think we would like to resolve these concerns we have with him, and would love to get your opinion on your thoughts of how best to approach it. Would he hear us?
I would. He probably would get angry if he would act how he's been acting in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, he he uses a lot of threats as of late, and I'm not sure what's going on. But he would at least have an audience with you because you're working for him. And
I don't think we can trust the madman. Are you at all sure of why he wants this cauldron besides supposedly feeding people?
I'm not sure. I heard him talking about this cauldron to himself in his room late one night. And saying that he will attain it. I don't know why he would say that to himself.
That's concerning. Why does she want it? Well, I have a feeling that this cauldron has a greater purpose than we may be aware of. If Daneth is speaking to who I assume he is speaking to.
She says, please, if you can help him in any way. He was a great leader. There's a reason he is the Speaker of the House of East Haven, the largest of all the 10 towns. he made East Haven what it is today. If you can help him, I'm sure all of East Haven will be grateful.
Fair enough. And now, you mentioned his change of behavior. Do you recall anything that may have happened, any events, any notable things that happened around the time that he started to change?
Did he receive any new bit of clothing, jewelry?
He was venturing out onto the lake, going fishing. He said he wanted to be more connected with the people, which is something he was always privy to. Sometime thereafter, he started to act different. He'd still go out late at night by the lake. Not sure what he would do, though. He would bring guardsmen. The guardsmen said he wouldn't do anything. He would just sit and stare at the lake.
Do you know if this was close in proximity to where this figurehead was drawn up?
I don't know. I don't know where the figurehead was brought from. I just know it was brought from somewhere in the lake. The lack. I don't know where. Though. You'd have to ask Icarus.
You think we should be scared of Daneth?
To be honest, I don't know. The leader that we loved is gone. It's like he's a different person. I'm scared of him.
Well, thank you for sharing this information. I'm sorry to hear that this has happened to your leader, and I assure you we will do the best of our abilities to...
Thank you. If there's anything I can help with, please just let me know. I will do anything to help you.
Do you know of any fishermen who may have known where he went the night that this happened, or where he went thereafter?
I don't know. Don't.
All right.
Ask about the swirl.
Oh. Do you know anything about a swirl pattern? And I'll, like, draw it in the air. I won't pull out the piece of paper, but I'll try and replicate it.
And she says, yes. Daneth carved that into the floor of his floorboards, of his room, and he has candles all around it.
Oh, interesting.
But do you know if the captain of the guard shares your fears with Daneth?
You could ask her. I used to live on some level with Daneth. I was his, I was there, sort of his bodyguard of sorts, with me and my men. As of late, he has asked me to leave, and I'm no longer allowed to stay there. He makes me go on these weird missions with Icarus. So,
would the guard help us, maybe, to free Daneth of this madness?
Some of them know about this, but the majority don't. Some of my guardsmen have been tried for treason for speaking out against Daneth's work. So please, this conversation must stay within us, otherwise I could be tried.
Of course. Absolutely. Your safety is paramount. Have you, by chance, ever touched his flesh in the last couple of weeks?
She says,
it's a weird question.
No, I have
I
not.
realize. Well, we just were curious if he had a strange cold aura about him in any form.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I think I should go now. My guardsmen might notice me talking to you privately.
Fair enough. Thank you for your time, and we will do our best.
Thank you so much. Luck be with you. She walks away.
Peace be it. All right. Well, that's concerning. So he may have been the one who summoned the second group of thieves, or is in cahoots with them, and is either involved with the witches or could be an agent of Auril now.
Maybe they're all tied together.
Probably.
Could Oral be pitting different groups of dwarves against each other or people of the 10 towns anyways, against each other to get what she wants?
I mean, she controls the winter. She could just freeze everything.
I think she has greater motivations, though. The same thing could be true. She could have just smitten down the people that the last guy was trying to kill, that we killed. What's his name? Sefig?
Yeah,
So I'm-
Sefig.
So I'm wondering if she's got a greater agenda that doesn't involve just killing all the people. I think there's some greater means here, whether it's Auril or somebody else, but
I wish I could have got my questions in.
oh, sorry, did you have questions?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there was any recent construction done on his house in case of any new rooms, places to hide, anything like that, or any unique smells, grave dirt, rotting flesh, sulfur.
Those would have been good questions. I apologize. I did not mean to monopolize.
Nah, I could have spoke up. I just was waiting my turn. I didn't want to jump in on anyone.
We could also go look at the estate and see, I imagine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tell Icarus because he thinks that he's just gonna go in and rob some arrogant guy, not someone who's got some degree of magical interaction.
We run the risk, though, of
Yeah, we can't-
how do we know?
Yeah, we can't let them know how we know.
That's what I'm nervous about.
Did I hear right that they're also the ones who brought up the statue in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're working for Daneth.
Right.
But they seem to want to rob him, so I don't think they have any particular loyalty.
Well,
Or could it all just be a whole
I wonder
big
if it's a
trap,
ploy to
trap?
I wonder if it's a ploy to try and get us into the estate so that we can be in a designated place, so then Daneth can deal with us as he sees fit on his grounds.
We really need to be using detect evil more.
Yeah, we do. We need to solve the situation because Daneth, I don't think, is going to pay up.
No, he's
So,
probably just gonna kill us.
yes. So my thought is maybe we try and investigate what the hell is possessing him or causing him to act weird to get him cleared so that maybe we could get payment selfishly. I want that money.
And also try to get, like, the cauldron's way more than just a meal ticket at this point, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, like finding what is the actual
yes,
purpose of this
the
thing.
motivation.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that the
everyone-
ghost said something about it.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, easy motivation is power
I want to figure out this lake situation.
Well,
because people need food, and with ice and a lack of a growing season, food is going to be harder to come by. If a guy can have a cauldron that produces theoretically infinite food, he can control as many people as he can feed.
yes.
What if
There,
we can like produce something else?
yeah. No, there's obviously that element for sure, Chris, and that's a really good point you bring up. I'm just wondering if there's some other, to Emily's point, if there's
something else they're hiding,
there may
that
be-
it can do.
yeah, there may be something that it can do when in the presence of something else or unlocked in a magical way or something. Because he's not in his right mind.
yeah, he was told to procure it.
Yes. And I guess witches seeking food. I don't know. Maybe we did get it from a hag. So who knows what she was doing with it, aside from cooking.
Perhaps we're looking at witch a little too literally.
Yeah. I think it's probably like an order of some form. Not necessarily a coven, but a group. Because
'Cause
obviously... Go ahead.
I'm just thinking here. He orders the weird figurehead to be pulled out of the water. So I think it ties into this castle.
I think it does
Yeah.
too. Yes.
There's something with the lake.
The lock. Yes, 1000%. And I think we need to do something about that.
I think we need to start looking there.
So start sipping stones, chill by the lake.
I mean, I agree. I think we might need a long rest. Dash.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can go down to the docks, ask fishermen, or procure a ship or something. Because we currently don't have a clear indication of where this might be. Maybe we can go back to the inn too. We could also go back to the White Lady Inn and see if it's still being haunted and try and commune with whatever her name is and be like, we're putting your puzzle together. We know what you mean now. We just can't find the castle.
I feel like there's some bits of information we need before we start digging around.
Yeah.
The things related to the castle and the lake and everything.
Agreed.
So yeah. So like I'm trying to think who else might have some information besides Thane. Would have the most knowledge, but that's a risky game.
Yeah, it is.
And it does sound like he's going to go in pretty quick too. Well, that's if he's not trying to lure us into a trap, but he might be trying to rob them pretty swiftly the next day or two.
We should try to stall that.
Yeah.
Makes
Because
me nervous. Oh, sorry, Chris.
no, I'm just gonna say because if we can utilize Icarus in some way, we probably want to, and better
Right.
to not send him in on his own and probably die or get possessed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if he gets
Turned
possessed, then
against
he's...
us if
Yeah.
he's
Then it guarantees that he's evil.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just curious. I'm worried that he may be working for Daneth, and then by us conveying hold, he may be suspicious that we're onto something. Vane's a hard one to read.
Yeah, I'm almost inclined to just give him what we know and say, hey, you're working for a madman. Maybe side with us and try to make him a little bit less mad, and he'll pay us a ton of money.
My memory is so bad. He was working though with other folks too before, right?
Yeah, he's
that
kind of
were
a merc.
kind of possessed, right? Or no?
Yeah, he was.
Way early on?
He was motivated by money.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's a
okay.
merc.
Mhm.
I think that might be what's motivating him here too, is just less of being evil and more of just he wants to make a quick buck.
Yeah, he doesn't ask
Yeah.
questions. He just gets coin.
And we did have a whole conversation of how he was kind of dumbfounded that we were hired by Daneth in the first place. And then he was supposed to kill whoever was protecting the cauldron. So he might be our friend. I think the chances are pretty good at this point. And we can make a friend out of him anyways.
As long as we have the upper hand of some kind or can offer something greater.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he'll ever just be like, friend! Like, he-
Hi guys, let's hang out on Sunday.
Let's hang on.
I think as long as there's some kind of benefit or monetary benefit or, don't do this, you'll die.
I mean, we can always frame up that if we're able to free Daneth from possession that he would probably be very grateful and
Yeah.
probably would be willing to pay to anybody involved in assisting.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, maybe we could approach him. I think we need to rest regardless either way, because if a fight breaks out, we don't want to be in the shape we're in.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm like cashed for spells.
So you finish up your long rest. So everyone go ahead and do that. Does anybody want to do any downtime actions like
Oh yeah.
book, or since you're not resting in an inn or any place like that, you're not going to have an opportunity to get inspiration. But you can just rest, but if you have inspiration you haven't spent and you want to use it for a book, or if you have any other downtime activities, like for example, Snorri, if you want to redo your spells, do that if you want, or yeah, anything that you want to do for downtime actions, you can go ahead and do.
I'll read my book. Then
do you have an inspiration to spend for that too?
yes, I do.
Okay, great.
No more.
Great.
And you can put your up.
Oh, I'll actually use my inspiration to read a Tavern Brawl, and that's only at 1 point to get that.
Nice, dude.
Oh, a Tavern Brawl.
Yeah.
What does that give you?
Become proficient with improvised weapons.
Oh, fun.
Unarmed strikes deal 1d4 damage instead of 1 damage.
Before you go to the tavern, you're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna just read up quick.
Yeah, study up on.
Sorry, I don't know if that's how Arid talks. That's how, maybe just because he's big.
Yeah, I've I don't know. I think I might try something in the future, but
Yeah, you're good.
While we're doing that, I'm gonna run to the bathroom quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Sounds good. We'll take a mini break.
Hang on, Bugs. Hang on, let me.
Yeah, we'll take a mini break.
Wait, Bugs. Hang on, let me. I did. I did get my book back. Okay. Oh yeah, these guys are sticky. Caramel guys?
Alrighty, is everybody back?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So everybody's rested.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So then what did y'all want to do?
We're gonna go to the tavern and talk to Daneth, or not Daneth, Icarus quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie
Yeah, well-
dokie. So okay, so you walk into the tavern. It's even though it's kind of always basically night here, it's kind of nighttime for everyone for the most part. So there is quite a few people in here just kind of having a good time. It's kind of smaller. You've been here before, obviously. And yeah, there's a couple women delivering food and taking orders and whatnot. And you can see kind of up here over in the corner, you can see Icarus and crew just kind of, drinking merry ones. And you can see the little halfling guy kind of sees you, and he gets off of his little seat and he kind of runs towards you
Ooh. I
Homeboy.
think the picture
a little bit. And he says, "Oh,
Yeah.
hello there. Hello, welcome. Good to see you again. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I've ever introduced myself. My name is Corkin.
Working?
Corkin. Yes. Yes. I believe I know all of your names. You are Silas and Snorri and Zafira and Eric, correct?
Well done.
It's nice to see you again. I'm sorry. I must apologize for my compatriot. He can be a bit of a doozy sometimes, but do know that we do have the best interests of 10 towns at heart.
Well, you seem like a very merry and cheery individual.
Oh, of course.
I
Yes.
don't know if I can say that I've ever known a bad halfling.
Definitely. And he looks up at you, Aaron, and he says, and to be honest, I have never ever met one of your kind in my life. Can you believe that?
No.
And he stands next to you and he's just like a little baby compared to like how tall you are, Aaron. Just like,
And pat him on the head.
okay. And he says, oh, wow, so strong. Well, would you care to join us? I didn't really ask them, but I'd like to join. I'd like you all to join. Maybe if you like, I can play you a song. And he takes out his like little mini lute. So what do you say?
Are you a musician?
He goes, of course. I got my start here. That's how I met Icarus.
Well, what is your trade aside from music?
Well, I do accompany them on some adventures. I do enjoy getting out of the town and exploring, and having a good run at amok.
Amen. I can appreciate that. And is he a druid? Do I
You don't know. He has kind of a, I wouldn't say nice clothes, but he doesn't have shitty clothes. His clothes look a bit nicer than his compatriots, like washed and clean.
Okay. So he's probably not a druid. Do you dabble in the magical arts, my friend?
He says, "Oh well, of course. Many adventurers do, of course.
Indeed.
But I just dabble. I dabble a bit in say everything."
Oh, Fair enough. I'm
Mhm.
jack of all trades. I
But a
appreciate
master of none.
Indeed.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I suppose we could sit down and share a drink.
And he turns to Yusuf here and he says, by the way, I am so sorry for my compatriots' advances on you. Please know that me and my other partner do not approve.
It's quite all right. You know, you can't control everyone in your party sometimes. And I give Silas a little pat on the back.
He says, well, please, if you like, you can sit next to me and I can make sure that he doesn't go overboard.
No, thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
Of course. Follow me right this way. Please join us.
We'll walk over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to make a perception check to see if there's just anything more odd about this Corkin fellow.
This is going to be an insight check.
Okay.
Yeah.
21.
Sure.
You know, he seems to be covering up intense sadness with intense jovialness. That's all you can really gather.
Oh.
Damn, that's getting a little real.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you can tell he was kind of like forcing it and really like
Oh.
yeah. You can tell that behind that he was kind of pretty sad and heartbroken.
We'll have to talk
All
about
right.
that sometime.
Yeah. Get him a couple drinks.
Dig into that a little
Open
bit.
up. Talk through.
Okay, and as you approach, Icarus says, my goodness, yeah. You can tell he's a little schnockered. He has a big pint of ale or half full in front of him. He reeks of alcohol. And as you all sit down, the dark elf woman just kind of nods her head at you all. The first time she's ever acknowledged you, really ever.
Dude, she's strong.
and Icarus says, I'm gonna buy you all around on me. This is what friends do, right? Am I right?
Very generous.
The dark elf woman rolls her eyes.
I'm quite drunk. Yeah.
And oh, go ahead.
Does she have a drink before her, or is she not?
She does. She's drinking wine.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Very posh.
Yeah.
Well, what's the cause for celebration?
And Corkin says, well, I suppose it's another night, and we're alive, so we're celebrating.
Well, that certainly is a win. I can cheers to that.
God, everything seems so dark now.
And Corkin says, well, Icarus wants to get drunk before we sober up to go on what he told you about yesterday. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, he still wants to.
Tonight?
And Icarus overhears you and he says, actually, maybe we should do it tonight. That seems like a good idea.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think today,
Why not, Silas?
tonight is a night to celebrate being alive. Am I right?
Oh.
Next round's on me.
You better watch yourself.
I'm a dirty dog. You know this. And I like my drink too. And there's no way you're going to be having one up on me.
And Icarus says, wench! Calls wench over. And then Corkin says, so, I would say that I'm curious. Do you plan on assisting us? Icarus wants to sober up, of course, and maybe go tomorrow night. I think we probably are going to need some help. Icarus thinks that we'll be fine on our own. I don't know how I feel about it. Lux over here, he points to the dark elf woman, isn't feeling very good about it either. But I've agreed. So we're going to go with Icarus though, because that's what we do. So, anyways,
Fair
have
enough.
you thought about that at all?
So that's actually, well,
Yeah.
between
Oh.
you and I look at
Okay.
the halfling and I
Yeah.
look at
Just
the dark
between
elf.
us.
I have reason to believe it may be more dangerous than you think.
He kind of pauses and his tone kind of shifts and he says, okay, well, what are you talking about?
We think there may be some more nefarious things afoot here that may have altered Daneth's perceptions and ability to make proper decisions. Does that sound familiar?
The dark elf woman goes, and Corkin looks at her and he says, we have heard rumors. Yes, we've heard rumors. But we weren't so sure about those, I guess. And maybe killing a little bit on blind faith. Kind of eyes over at Icarus. And Icarus is kind of almost on the verge of like passing out a little bit. He says, what do you want to tell me? What you know? We've heard a couple things, but we're fairly confident overall in our abilities. Just we might need help.
Well, you seem very capable, and I am genuinely not questioning that.
Oh.
And as you've seen, we can handle our own, but I think that there may be something here that needs to be addressed before we can make any moves. There may be ties to things greater than just Daneth, and I think that this could not only be potentially deadly for you in the moment, but could be deadly for you down the road, even if you do manage to escape with your lives.
Okay. 1 second. He turns to Icarus and he says, so, we've got some important things. Our friends have some really important things to say to us. Please listen. And he looks over at the dark elf lady and she just nods. And then her eyes go back to you, Silas. He says, so, what would you like to share?
Well, let's put this in terms that maybe may appease to him. I think delaying a little bit may allow us to be more planful and yield the greatest results. If you get my meaning, Icarus. You're a smart man, and I can tell that you've
delayed. Why? So are you helping us?
Well, I think that if we explore certain opportunities, other avenues may open themselves up that may be even more lucrative.
Oh, other avenues. And he looks over at Yuzafir and he says, hey, darling. I'm sorry.
Roll my eyes.
I'm sorry. My friend says you don't like me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should probably
win 'em
wash
all.
myself. Okay.
We certainly can't win them all, am I right, Icarus? No harm, no foul.
And he says, I just can't help it sometimes. I'm so sorry. And he falls his head down, he starts sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look at the halfling and be like,
and his eyes kind of get wide and he says, so, do you have any more information for us? Have you figured out exactly what what it is you're alluding to or talking about. We have heard rumors of strange lights. That's really all we've heard. A little disconcerting, but Icarus over here thinks that's fine. I, on the other hand, and I would say Lux over here too, would be curious to know if you know anything about this light on the Daneth's window. Yeah.
Well, we can't speak for certain about Daneth's specific situation, but we have encountered other individuals in the past who have communed with higher powers in a similar way as it sounds Daneth may be doing, which is the source of the light.
Higher power, you say? Okay, interesting. Well, I haven't heard that before. Okay. Do you know what this higher power might be, or whom it might be to?
Well, it's a deity that I don't know has our best interest in mind.
Snorri, go ahead and make a perception check. Actually, everyone, go ahead and make a perception check.
Perceive!
I only got 5.
Okay.
It's okay. You came through with that insight. Damn.
Okay.
Wow.
Aaron, while this conversation is going on, you notice the dark elf woman who you've heard her name is Lux. She kind of seems to be looking at Snorri, kind of like kind of eye glaring him and kind of like twitching at one of her daggers on her bandolier. Notice that. You just notice that.
I finish my drink
Okay.
and slam it down on the table to get her attention.
Okay. The halfling kind of, and then Icarus wakes up and he says, "Oh, what just happened?" And
I just silently glaring at the elf.
and Icarus begins to vomit by his feet. And but when you do that, the only thing that changes from the dark elf woman is her eyes just go over to you. She doesn't really stop what she's doing. She's still kind of twitching like the handle of her dagger.
All right, I stand up and ask her, "What are you doing?" I see your hand. What are you getting at?
And her eyes just kind of narrow, and Corcoran stands up and he says, "Oh well, she always kind of does that. Sorry.
She has something against dwarves.
Let's not talk about that right now. Why don't we focus on the matter at hand? What are we going to do about Daneth? Yeah, let's discuss that, shall we? Please, and he goes over to you, Aaron, and he says, please, I'm so sorry about my compatriots. I don't know what to do about them sometimes. I need help.
I'll sit back down and
Okay.
Snorri, I suggest you be vigilant.
The
Okay.
old elvish dwarvish grudge.
The dark elf kind of glares at you, Snorri, and she says, "It's a gustic ga." And then her eyes go back to her drink, and she takes a drink.
Not the first time I've dealt with dark elves.
As you say dark elf, her eyes glare at you again. Her eyes are pretty violet, by the way.
That's really cool.
Anyways, so
it's apparent to me that
okay.
this is obviously not happening tonight.
So Icarus, after he's done kind of vomiting, it kind of smells bad too, and he says, "Pardon me, mates. So, are you helping us or no?"
Well, I don't know if you quite caught what we were speaking of earlier.
He says, "No. Fill me in. What's going on?"
I think it's in our best interest to hold on these plans until we've had a chance to properly do our due diligence.
He says, does that mean we got a deal?
Well, I think it means, as we've mentioned to your compatriots, that it would not be in any of our best interests, and I look him dead in the eye, and I mean any of our best interests, if you were to pursue this without making sure that we aren't dealing with something greater than what we understand.
He looks over at the dark elf and halfling, and he says, man, what are you getting at?
Greed might be the lesser of the evils we might be dealing with.
What the hell?
Sorry, that was my doorbell. Hold on, let me get it. 1 second. Hello? Oh, hi, come on up.
Chase, I thought that was you.
Sorry, that was my doorbell.
I'm sorry, that was super funny.
Okay, okay, sorry, back in character.
You're good. You're good.
This is so. Do you know something? And he looks at Corcoran and he says, "The fuck does he know?" And he slams the table and he says, "Tell me, little devil."
Apparently, I may know more than you for once.
He says, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Well, it sounds like you've all heard tales of strange things coming from him, his office, his home. And we have also heard these rumors. And given his strange behavior relative to what his prior reputation was, we have reason to believe that there may be greater powers afoot here.
Oh no.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. But
Oh, but Chase is gone? Oh,
Chase
no.
is gone.
Well, does
Mid-sentence.
someone want to take over?
To put it simply, we're dealing with a man possessed, and if he has the riches you say, if he becomes unpossessed, he may part with his riches much more
Willingly.
willingly.
Right.
And it may or may not have to do with your last fishing trip.
And he says, with that shitty waterlogged thing that pulled out of the lock.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah. Well. What are you getting at, man?
It may not be worth robbing the man. He may be more powerful than we know, and we may be able to cure him of his ailment.
So what do you propose?
Yeah, you guys are back, but you're muted.
Hello?
Sick. Okay, sorry. Internet issues, which just
It's okay.
result. Okay. Well, I propose that you allow us to do some investigations to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and possibly removing this issue. And if he is in the circumstances that we perceive and can free him of it, I can almost guarantee you that he would be unbelievably grateful to any people who may have participated in helping relieve him of his issues, if you get my meaning.
Right. Okay.
That would allow us to circumvent having to try and breach his security and potentially address this greater concern that we have.
Yeah.
And we're doing this out of respect for you. That's why we're warning you, because we're concerned that you would go in and wouldn't come out.
Mate, I have to say, I never thought you gave a shit about me.
Well, we've heard tale of the good things that you have done, whether your intentions were good or otherwise, and it's not just you, it's your group. And you have done good things for this area, and, you know, it's always good to have another adventuring party around.
Right. Right. So you just came here to warn me, not to help me, right? Well, to help me, but by warning me.
Well,
To help you help yourself.
indeed. There's no good that comes to us for you being dead. And while you may be motivated by coin, we have other motivations as well. You must remember that most of us are not from this area and maybe not as used to the dire means that a lot of people resort to around here. So, yes, we did come here to warn you. And we ask that you don't share this information with Daneth because we don't believe that he can be trusted.
Hold on, guys.
You're good.
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
So, I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't catch what you said.
No, you're totally good. I said basically that, yes, we did come to warn you for various reasons that you know, we're not from here. We're not used to resorting to such desperate measures, and we try and find the good in people and give them the benefit of the doubt, which is why we're here. And I think that was it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Well, I do appreciate that, I guess. Still think we might need your help, though.
Well, if it comes to that, then maybe we'll provide it. However, I think that we would serve a greater purpose by waiting and letting us try to resolve the issue. And maybe we can all benefit.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna persuade. 23.
He says, all right. What if we wait another day then?
Wow. So 2 days from now.
Exactly.
I look at everyone else.
Yeah, we might be able to find some things out by then. We may even require your help to cure him of his ailments. If we can prove that to you, would you assist us?
Sure. I can do that.
All right. Well, then I suppose if you don't hear from us, then either we're dead or we haven't completed our mission yet. So I would advise maybe holding until you hear from us. But you seem a man of singular vision, so I don't doubt that you'll follow through when you see
He
fit.
says, I can wait another day.
Fair enough.
That's about how long I can wait.
Well, for all of our sakes, I hope that we can come to some resolution prior to then. In any case, I appreciate you listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
He says, thanks, mate. I'm gonna go lay down, actually.
Fair enough. All
And the
right.
halfling says, thank you so much for coming. Please, if you could help us, I'd appreciate it. But it was lovely to see you. So lovely to see you. I do hope to see you again very soon.
Indeed. And we hope to see you again, and maybe next time we can play some lute together.
He says, you play the lute? Oh my.
Indeed I do.
Oh. Well,
Here, maybe a little jingle to lift your spirits.
Oh, lovely, yes.
Okay.
Make a performance check.
22.
Okay. Tell us what you do for that.
Okay. I take out my lute just casually and adjust my shoulders a little bit. And then I kick out the chair, throw up my leg, and I start just strumming away and singing a ballad of the sailor's tale of sailing the ocean and finding mermaids and hearing the songs of sirens and the beauties of the ocean and the woes of women.
Okay. You can see he's jamming along with it, and even Icarus comes back from where he was going to go to take his nap, and was like, "Oh man, that was a good song."
Wow.
And Corcoran says, oh, I would love to play with you. You are very, very good. I think I could learn a thing or two from you.
Well, maybe it's an opportunity for me to teach you a thing or two.
Oh,
And hopefully that'll tide you over until we see you in a few days.
Yes, we look forward to that. Looking forward
Indeed.
to
Tip my hat, and then we'll be on our way.
that.
I feel like that's a sailor tale, yes. I feel like that's totally within a sailor tale. Okay, so once we decongregate from the rest of the group,
Yeah.
where do we start? Should we go to the pier? I feel like we should investigate the castle on the lock.
I'd be down to check it out. Ask some fishermen.
Yeah, maybe the innkeeper or the tavern.
Were we gonna go back and commune with the ghosts?
Yeah, I feel like we should try and commune with the ghost woman.
Okay.
So we'll go to the White Lady Inn.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. So you get back to the White Lady Inn, and I forget the name of the guy that leads. It's a little half-little gnome guy.
There is Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, thank you. Yeah, he's this like wee teeny little like older gnome man. He says, "Hello, welcome to the White Lady. Welcome back. Would you like a room?"
Well, Ronaldo, we actually came to ask if you've had any more instances recently.
He says, well, I have not done another seance, but I have not felt the need to, no.
Well, we've encountered some things that may make me believe that we may need to speak with her again for fear of interception, I say, that she may become wrathful again and cause problems. So we're trying to be proactive as well as get some questions answered we may have.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. That's perception.
He says, well, I don't really have time to, but I suppose I could do another seance, I suppose. Would you be able to come back tonight, maybe?
I suppose. On another note, do you know anything about a castle on the lock?
he says, I have seen some egg images, but nothing that would be more than my imagination, I'd say. The ghost lady has mentioned that a few times in writings. I prefer not to venture into the loch, really, myself.
That's fair. It doesn't seem like the most hospitable of places. Well, I appreciate it. I suppose we'll be back then.
Fair enough.
All right. Where would we go to find more information about the loch? This pier? Maybe we'll go down to the pier. Yeah, the loch.
Sure.
The docks in Alaska around.
Sure. And you ask around. Whoever wants to can just go ahead and make a straight charisma roll just to see how well you can kind of like, find people to talk to and see who wants to talk to you.
14.
14. You really just find you find a few people. You find some people who are kind of these older men. They're kind of bundled up in their coats, and they're just sort of like sitting there. They're drinking. They don't. They just like you've heard stories. They don't have any experience with the stories, or like personally, they've never experienced them. So you don't really meet anyone that has found that has seen it, basically. But you've met people that have heard stories from other people.
I'll ask also around about where they may have drudged up the helm or the figurehead in the loch, if anybody knows.
They don't actually know that. That seems to be they don't even know what you're talking about, really. Yeah.
We should have asked the Icarus group. Should we go back to the tavern? I don't know. I forgot. Okay. Should we go back?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait, I thought they left. No.
He was going to go to bed. So I'll go back and assuming Icarus is gone, I'll go to the bar or the Gorkin.
He says, "Oh, you're back so soon."
Indeed.
What? Why? Are you gonna help us?
I got so carried away with my song, I forgot to ask you another question about that figurehead that you drudged up.
And you can see him kind of cower as you mention that. And he looks over at the dark elf lady, and she just kind of squints her eyes and puts her head down, and he says, "What do you want to know about that?"
Well, everything. Where did you get it? What is it? Why did you were tasked with it?
We got a job from Daneth. That was it.
That's fair.
Yeah, we got paid. We didn't really know what it was. Yeah, that's it.
And where exactly in the lake did you acquire it?
He looks over at the dark elf lady again and looks back at you. His voice is getting a little bit more frantic, but you can tell he's trying to suppress it a little bit. He says, in the middle of the lake, somewhere. Daneth kind of told us where to go. Yeah.
Interesting. Why are you being so evasive with these answers? We're here to help. And I'll look at the dark elf. Just kind of a glance.
And she just full on glares at you, like her eyes look angry. And she has this little smirk on her face.
She always this angry.
And he says, "Oh, that's not her angry at all. No." No.
Classic case of RBF, I get it. Well, if we're to come to the agreement that we previously discussed and are to find the maneuver that puts you out of harm's way to the best of our ability, we could really use any information that you can share. We have a feeling that the reason he requested you to find this very strange and concerning figurehead may be tied to his altered state.
And he looks over at the dark elf lady, and she abruptly just gets up. She just gets up, and she pushes her chair back, and it falls over. And she walks over and stands right by the halfling. And he looks kind of up at her sheepishly, and he says, "I am so sorry, but we are not allowed to talk about this. I would love to talk about it with you, but I can't. And we need to go right now. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry."
It's quite all right.
We hope to see you in 2 nights. Wait, tomorrow night? Yeah. Wait, is it tomorrow? I forget. Whenever you made plans.
2 days.
He says, we do hope to see you then. Hi. And he turns and walks away with the dark elf.
Does she have any like discernible symbols or anything on her clothing?
Ooh, make a perception check, Ariad.
Ooh, that's a good question.
You make a perception check while they were chatting.
Whole 4 points.
Not that you can see her. She just has a bunch of daggers and yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good question, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucking weird.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
These people are being super evasive. I don't know. I can't get a pulse on these people. I don't know if they're good or they're bad. I like the halfling. We kidnap him?
Situation that he's hiding.
Okay, guys, screw the quest. We're gonna do a game.
We're here to rescue you, little buddy.
We're gonna plan a heist,
Join the party.
and we're gonna heist the halfling out of this place.
I'm into
Win.
Tonight we can kidnap him.
Yes, I agree. I'll put him in my backpack. Or Aaron, put him in your backpack. He's actually the mastermind. Don't say that. He's so cute. I want to free him of his immense sorrow. Okay. All right. Well, we got to investigate somehow. Can I like? Can I make like, I don't know, like an investigation check to think through like where would be the place to acquire this information? Or some kind of check?
What information are you, or what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get an idea
Where
of,
do you even start?
yeah, like where would be the best place to find the location of either the ship or the lock or the castle?
Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, I am not gonna give you a roll for that. You're just gonna, you're gonna have to. If you want to explore that, you gotta think it through and figure it out, or do something else.
Is there a library in town?
Let's see. Is there a library?
Yeah, or is there any kind of like, I don't know, guild or?
There's a library in the town
shop?
hall.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a library in the town.
Is there like a shop for magical items or anything? That we could
Oh
find?
yeah. So if you go to the Discord, and then you go to items? No. Sure. It's in here somewhere. Oh yeah. It's under campaign info. It's like it just says Easthaven. You can click on that. And there's all the shops. And there's all the shops for all the places actually. I messed up, but obviously you can only buy the ones that are under Easthaven.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what do y'all want to do with the rest of your night?
I mean, the only other option I can think of is like us like commissioning a ship to take us out. We're buying one.
Mill around on the water. Do we find something?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know what we could do.
I just don't want to announce it to everyone by asking around.
Yeah.
Guys, you
Because-
something funky with the lake?
There's also the symbol from Targos, or from Lonelywood. Chris, Ben, what do you guys think?
I mean, do you think it would be worth checking out, like, see if some shop owners who are kind of more versed in arcane stuff around town, maybe they've got some history that they could share?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's go to the magic shop.
It is the magic shop. Okay. So, the Curio Shop. Okay. Yes. So a female tiefling, kind of a reddish in color, is there and says, "Hello and welcome.
Well, hello there.
Oh, what would you like today? We have a lot of curio things for you.
Well, I can see that. This is quite an establishment you have here.
Would you like some spells?"
Well, I was actually wondering if you might have some knowledge. I'm just curious about.
He
Some
says,
local
"Well, I
legends."
do have some knowledge."
I can tell.
Uh-huh.
You seem quite traveled.
Yes. Yes.
Well, do you know anything about any local legends by chance?
Oh, maybe. Which legends?
Something about a castle on the loch, or
She
related to
says,
that?
"Well, of course, many people in this town have said they've seen it. Other than that, I haven't heard much, to be honest.
Interesting.
I've not gone and checked on it myself. Many have gone out onto the lake, walking on it, or sailing on it, trying to see it, and haven't seen it.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes, we've heard the same story, but nobody seems to know much more than that. So unique.
Well, let me think here. Let me go back to. Okay. She says, "Well, I'll tell you what. If you purchase something of sizable value, I can maybe point you in the right direction."
Fair enough. Let's see, what curious items do you have? What? I burped and it's not good.
Magic missiles.
It's a dope item.
Yeah, dude. 225.
Does anybody have any items they find particularly interesting? I think we bought quite a bit of stuff already.
I might want gloves of swimming and climbing.
Yeah,
Nice.
that probably wouldn't be
What's a luck stone?
+1 to your ability checks and your saving throws. Well, Chris, do you have the spell Detect Magic? By chance?
I'm trying to think if I do. I think I do.
Okay.
I should. I was eyeballing the a scroll of Zone of Truth.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Because that, I think we could probably use.
Yeah, dude. I completely agree. I think that's not a bad idea. Well, it's my friend here is interested in this scroll of Zone of Truth. That seems like a pretty sizable purchase in a world where a copper piece can feed you for a day.
All right, sure. Sounds good.
I actually don't have Detect Magic.
Oh. Well, then I don't think that would be a bad move either. 45. I'll throw like 10 gold at you. Because those are kind of like pretty spells.
All right, I'll cover the other 35 then.
Anybody else want?
Yeah, I'll throw in 10.
Okay.
I'm actually going to pick up those gloves while we're here, so
Okay.
I'll just cover those myself.
Ooh, which gloves did you get? Sorry.
Gloves of swimming and climbing.
Ooh, nice.
Dope. Climb or swim. Nice. Okay. Then, do you have any information you'd be able to share?
Oh, yes, of course. I think you should go to the Wet Trout if you've never been there. The Wet Trout, someone that is considered, well, I don't want to say an expert, but someone that really believes in this idea of this castle unlocked. His name is Scythen.
Scythen?
Scythen, yes. He looks kind of similar to me, actually. That's one of the reasons why we get on. But yeah, he frequents that little place, and he might be able to help you out.
Well, thank you for the lead.
Best of luck, traveler.
Cheers. All right, then we'll head to the Wet Trout.
Okay, so you go to the Wet Trout, and it's kind of this simple little, it's like a divey bar basically, and it's on stilts above the water, and it smells kind of gross. As you walk in, you can see people are gambling. Gambling isn't illegal in the 10 towns. It's a little bit shady. Okay, some shady characters, and you can see in this place there's probably can't fit more than 20 people in the whole entire place. And you can see a red tiefling with these large sort of curled horns and sort of like black nails and black features and black hair, kind of off in the corner gambling with some of the other men.
All right. I'll wait for a moment to intervene.
Okay, yeah. Also a question for you, Silas. Are you still disguising yourself as a half-elf, or have you given that up?
Not given it up yet.
Okay. Got you. All right. So you walk in and kind of everyone kind of puts their head up, and they kind of go back to their game. So what do y'all want to do?
I'll walk up to him and wait for a break and... Hello, good sir. Is it Scythen? Is that it?
And he says, well, yes, it is. Happy to meet your acquaintance. He kind of looks you all up and down. He says, are you adventurers, or what are you? You look
something of the sort.
You look rather burly, and he looks over at you, Arid. And he says, wow, it's been a minute since I've seen one of your people.
Yes, he's a mighty big man. Now, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I heard that you may be a rather knowledgeable individual about,
Well, yes, I suppose so.
and I can tell by your demeanor that you've seen your fair share, and I keep hearing these legends, and it's just eating away at me, and I really would like to get down to know a little bit more about this castle on the loch.
And he stands up as you said that, and he says, "Really? You wish to know more?"
Indeed.
My, only a few have come to question me, actually, about this.
As from what I hear, you're a bit of an expert.
He says, "Actually, yes, and I'm planning an expedition to go out there and look for it. I know that it's there.
Intriguing.
I know it. Because too many people have seen it, have reported this sort of illusory castle on the lake for quite some time, actually. About a year. So,
Intriguing.
yes.
And when might that expedition be leaving?
Well, hopefully soon. In fact, I happen to be looking for a party. Maybe just like what you all are. Party of seasoned adventurers that could help to protect myself and my crew whilst we're out on the loch. So we were looking. We were thinking about potentially hiring a different group of adventurers, but some of my crew weren't adept on going with that particular party. So, do you fancy yourself the adventuring type?
You could say that. We've seen our fair share of things.
And he looks over at you, Zafir, and he says, "Oh, wow, Bo's woman. Don't mess with her."
Indeed, and she is deadly with it.
Wow.
I assure you.
And clearly you've got some muscles. And then he looks over at you, Snore, and he says, "Oh my, and a little bit of a surly dwarf over there." What have a name or thing you're called by, or something we should know?
We're just a group of adventurers at this point. We don't have quite a claim to fame yet, but
Okay.
I assure you we have skills to back it up.
All right. So this is my proposal. We wish to be taken out onto the loch. We wish to be out there really as long as we can, until we find it. It's got to exist out there. We wish to search the loch far and wide, which the loch is quite large. We wish to search every inch of it until we can find it. And once we find it, then I suppose our contract would change. But if you can just get us to find it, then I suppose we could pay you what we're going to pay the other adventuring party. I'm saying.
And what might that be?
Tell you what, we'll give you 1,000 gold pieces. Yeah, just to help us find this. If you honestly, you know what? If you protect us and help us to find this, I think I could get my financiers to give you double. So 2,000. I need to find this. This is my life's work.
And while that is some money, how do we know that what your research and findings and wherewithal will lead us to this loch instead of drive us to madness on an open ocean?
Well, you don't. I guess that's part of the risk.
Fair enough. What does everybody think?
It depends when we leave. And do you have an idea of how long this voyage might take? How long searching every corner of this loch could take?
He says, "No clue."
Well,
I want to make an insight check to see if this guy is being genuine or not.
Sure.
22.
I mean, you can tell he's passionate about finding this on the lock. He seems so that based off of that, he seems genuine. Like he wants to find this.
But why?
Yeah. And what would happen if we did find this castle?
And he says, well, I suppose we'd want to go inside now, wouldn't we?
Indeed.
And so you would need to protect us while we go inside.
Why are you so interested in finding this?
It's an enigma. No one's been able to figure out what it is or why it's here, or go in and live to tell about it. Some people have gone missing. Yes, that's why we need some protection. We don't want to go missing. We want to find what is going on with this castle and report back to East Haven and get a good sum of money for that.
No, I don't know if I don't want to offend you or put you off, but
Oh, don't worry, Giant. You won't.
who might these financiers be? Could you reveal that to us?
Well, let's just say there's some people that wish to acquire knowledge. And I love to acquire knowledge, especially about this. It's fascinating. It's fascinating that no one's actually figured this out. And
well, I can completely agree that this is certainly an opportunity that is too good to pass up, but I will have to agree with my compatriot that if we are to go in on this with you, we need to know who is funding this expedition.
and make a persuasion check.
$26.
Jesus. Okay.
Well,
Okay, and he says, all right. Just between you and me, well, there's a problem. This is not, shall we say, completely legal. I understand you wish to know. I promise I will tell you after you accept. And only then can I tell you, and only then if you promise to never share. And I understand that might be a decision of something that is important for your decision, but I'm sorry, but I do need to protect myself.
That is...
Well, we may need some time to think it over. When do you plan to depart?
He says, well, I have roused together just a few young men to help defend us. So I'm thinking maybe the next couple of days or so. Yeah, just to do another expedition. We've done one of these before, but fortunately we didn't have adequate protection, so we had to return.
Interesting. What kind of perils did you face?
Well, there's some interesting things that go on in Locke, both above the ice and below the ice, let's just say. So one does need protection on there. It's usually fairly safe day to day, but every now and then you find yourself in the need for protection, and I am not trained in that. I'm trained in science. So, yes.
Fair.
That didn't answer the question at all.
He's a man who skirts around. I like it.
Okay, well, he says, for the most part, just to protect us from the wolves. Yeah, you know.
That's fair. The
But
ice
the
wolves.
wolves swimming
on
in
the
the
lake?
water?
Is that what you asked?
Yes.
He says,
Damn
no,
lake wolves.
no. Well, sometimes when the lake freezes, they run on top of it. Sometimes the lake thaws, and then there's no wolves, freezes.
That's fair. Are they?
And then they kill you. It's
Yes.
fine.
Yes, I think we should think about it. I mean, this is our only lead right now.
Yeah.
Unless we go in straight to Daneth and like try and resolve the situation, but I don't know how to dispel it. Because what happened when you were possessed? How did we free you?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Because yeah, what did we do?
Did we?
I don't know if we did
I think
anything.
yeah, I think it was just like a wisdom save or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it was.
and then
It was.
and then she got it eventually. Then the ghost didn't possess
You
She
did
picked it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so then we have a couple of days to figure out what we're doing. So,
Rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
Where we're at.
what do you guys want to do?
No good options, man. Gotta go rob a possessed guy with untold power at his hand. Go.
We I think our final kind of straw is the ghost. Trying to talk to the ghost.
Oh yeah, we
before
gotta go
make
do
any
that.
major decisions.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Ghost. To the
Yeah,
ghost?
wait till
Yeah.
our gnome friend is ready to help us out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you return later that night. And he says, "All right, well, I suppose I'm ready, but I only have 20 minutes, so hopefully that works." So
We'll make it quick.
so he gets everything all set up, but he says, I am going to need some help because I wasn't able to prepare as I usually am. So if you could all help me just prepare everything, that would be great.
Certainly.
So he basically roughly gives you an over detailed explanation of a bunch of little things that need to be done, really quickly, and he talks really fast. And basically just tells you, to do it, tells you all to do it. You kind of all have to figure out. So basically he's going to be doing stuff, and you kind of need to prepare this ritual, help prepare this ritual. Okay. So everyone go ahead and just make a straight Arcana check, even if you're not trained in it.
Ooh. Wah, wah.
Okay, so we have one success.
Solid.
Okay, so you hastily prepare. Silas, you do a great job, and Ronaldo commends you. The rest of you, he kind of gets a little irritated, and basically the seance does not work, and it does not call the ghost forth, unfortunately.
Okay.
And Ronaldo
And
bids you adieu and goes about whatever he needs to do that night.
could we tell if that was our fault or just the ghost didn't seem to want to come out?
It was the ritual wasn't prepared correctly.
All right.
Yeah.
You don't.
Just in general, because he didn't have enough time to do whatever he did last time.
Another time.
We care in the future probably, but not today.
Can I make a religion check to try to do something?
No, this is not a religion thing. It's definitely an Arcana. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, our only option is to go out on the lock or to just pursue another endeavor for the time being.
Yeah, or go talk to Daneth and see what he has to say, but I think we could easily make a misstep and
Yeah.
end up pretty screwed.
Yeah.
I have a crazy idea. What if I just go sit at the dock and stare at the lake for a long time?
We all just go sit
Yeah.
and stare at the lake for a while.
I mean, that's what people seem to do and they see it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
very
not that
fair.
that means it's there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
How are you?
we
What are thoughts on that trip out to the sea?
I mean, we have to wait a day anyways. I
Yeah.
say we do the heist. We steal that fucking halfling.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were gonna plan on kidnapping.
I don't think that's a good idea. But
You
I
don't?
mean,
What kills me is that idea of sitting and just looking into the lake is both the dumbest thing I've heard, and I could see it working.
yes.
That's what bothers me is I don't know if it would work or not.
We better try.
What worries me is we might see it, but how are we going to
What are we gonna
actually
do?
divine any kind of
just-
direction?
We'll get like
Yeah.
a little boat, and then we'll just be ready, and then we'll just get in the boat and go real quick.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like- make a
So-
little motor of some kind.
What did y'all decide to do?
Are we gonna stare at the lake?
Just to stare at the lake. Okay.
That's our best.
Don't
For an
kill
entire day, you're just gonna stand there like.
that. We're ready.
Also, I wonder if more information will reveal itself if we try and pursue the other leads.
Yeah, do we have the time to do that though? We'd have to go to different
Well,
towns, right?
I mean, if we go out on the lake, we're screwed either way. Like,
Yeah.
go out on the lake, we're out of time. If we just stare at the lake, we're out of
Probably a
time.
waste of time.
Which I actually don't hate that idea, Ben. I really like
Yeah,
it.
I really.
We do have another option.
Well-
There's the 2 other towns on the lake.
Yeah, we could gather information from them too.
Yeah.
See if they know
We've got,
anything.
what, 2 days? Before we have to make any.
Because we could at least probably trek to one of them and see what they might know.
What's the closest
And
one?
at this point, we only have a day left. So
So I graduated from school in a month.
can we get back in a day?
I don't know if anything we do is because the thing is, if we
I graduated from school in a year.
if we don't come to a solution, he's going to do it anyways. So it's kind of the situation of like whether we're here or not doesn't really make a difference
Hmm.
because we don't have enough time to be able to solve this problem. Unless we go to Daneth directly and try and
Computer science specialized.
free him from whatever the hell is going on, but I don't know how to do that.
I would almost say, or I would say, maybe we just go on the heist with them, so that we have their support if anything goes wrong, and and they have ours, and we kind of gain what information we can while we're there in his house. I don't know.
Still, yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, I mean, that could be an option.
The problem is the drow isn't being helpful.
Well, at all, which makes me super anxious about the whole situation.
Yeah. Because it's like, Icarus, we can write him off. He just wants money. Gorgon is hiding what seems to be him borderline being a slave. That's what I'm guessing at this point.
Yeah. I wonder if
And this drow is just mean mugging everyone and talking shit in, I guess, Undercommon.
Yeah, I guess we don't know what we still yeah, we still don't know what their motivations are completely.
I want.
Yeah.
I want that halfling to be my friend.
Oh, you really hung up.
I feel bad for him.
I know, dude. He's sad.
I think that's something we actually need to bring up is if they want our help with this, we need to know everything that's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
That's if they even want our help at this point. I can't tell if, because maybe he does plan to do the heist, but maybe he plans to throw us under the bus while he steals everything out the back door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what ended up happening. And obviously we don't want to be executed for something that we aren't really doing. There's also the leads in like Targos, the criminals, and also the witches from Lonelywood, or the symbol apparently is from Lonelywood. That also could be a misnomer. I don't know whether to trust Icarus or not.
And that's on the opposite end of the dale.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just go knock on his door.
What should we do?
Yeah, at this point, we're pulled in so many different directions. I wouldn't see it as a bad thing to literally go knock on his door and I don't know, see what he has to say, or kind of do some snooping around.
What if we like, yeah, what if we also try to like interact with the figurehead thing?
Oh,
I don't know.
It didn't seem super intelligent. Like it never talked, I don't think.
No,
I'm
it's just got bad juju tied to it.
I'm wondering if we like burn it.
It's inside though.
I feel like that's also under.
The problem there is they're going to be like, why the hell did you burn this house down?
We already burned one place down. Let's burn another.
Be ready with a bucket, you know.
Yeah,
The
dude.
house burners,
With the arsonists.
torch setters.
That's our name.
Oh
The
god.
arsonist. Torch setters.
The
And-
arseholes.
I thought he technically like dug it up slightly after he kind of went mad. That's the reason why he did it, I believe. He was kind of told to by the entity.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if like by burning it we would just entice whatever it is to come to us instead of
Yeah.
trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But also to your point, I don't want to burn down another structure.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do?
Do we want to go like taste his joy?
Yeah, we could do that. I feel like I don't have like a ton of options, so might as well.
Or
Can
we
we
could,
snoop?
I mean, we
I
could
can snoop.
also go talk to him and just plead ignorant.
That's very fair.
Like we could just go to him and be like, hey, you know, this has been a doozy of a thing to protect. Like we got attacked twice and, you know, we're just curious if you know anything about what could have caused this and like kind of investigate and get a read on him.
Yeah, it might lead us to understand better what his motivations are and what he plans to do.
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah, actually, talking to him during the day might not be the worst idea.
Yeah.
Because he seems to be an ass, but he kind of reins it in because it's, business hours.
Yeah.
And then he does the spooky talking to glowy stuff at night.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just like me. Yeah, I mean, do we want to go talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go try and talk to him?
Yes, yes, you can. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, good soundtrack.
Okay.
So ready for season 2.
Oh shoot, the movie comes out soon.
Yeah. 2 weeks almost.
Dude, that's so.
All right. Let's get you all on. Okay. Oh shit! So you're gonna scroll down, everybody.
There he is.
Oh no. Hold on. There we go. No, you can't see all that. You should be able to. Okay, so you walk up to his house. His house is a large 2-story house, and you can see that there are 4 guardsmen just standing outside the door.
I mean, here's no, because they're not big. They're not
Well, good day, sirs.
They nod at you, and one of them recognizes you, or you all, and and they say, "Oh, hello. You are working for Daneth, correct?
Indeed,
Did you guard the cauldron like you said?
we have been, yes.
And what brings you here, my good sir?"
Well, we wish to speak to Daneth about some recent events that we feel he should be privy to.
Very well. 1 second. And he kind of goes inside for a minute, and he comes back, and he says, "Very well. Right this way."
Appreciate it.
And he leads you into this. Oops. Leads you into this room here. You can move your characters in there. It's fine. Or you don't. I suppose you don't really have to. I don't know. Whatever. And then he leads you up a staircase over this way. Ooh. Huh. And it's not the right music. Okay.
I draw my weapon.
Right. He leads you up to a staircase over here. So now you're at the top of the mountain. Now you can bring your characters up here, actually. You wouldn't mind doing that, everybody.
Oh, all the way up there?
Just do this. Yeah, all the way up top.
Okay.
This is the second story. And you can sort of see Daneth there. And he's sitting in what appears to be this luxurious, large, velvet cushioned chair by a fireplace. There's some more guardsmen in here with him. And he's smoking this pipe. And he says, "Oh, yes. Cauldron, right?
Yes.
I heard you did a splendid job."
Well, we held our own.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Of course. And, we were just curious that what a force we came up against. So,
I suppose you did, didn't you?
yeah, we were just curious to hear if you knew anything about this, because obviously if part of our job is protecting, if we can get down to the root of what may have caused this, we're just trying to do our due diligence, you know?
You seem to be quite eager for mercenaries.
Well,
I admire that.
we like to do our best to leave the place in a better position than when we left it.
Although I can't help but feel that there might be something else you wish.
And aside from receiving payment and hoping to find out what could have caused these enemies to assail us.
What was your name again? Single.
Indeed.
I am a very busy man.
Indeed.
You did something important for me. I said I would pay you. I think we should do that. Now, don't come in here and ask and just start asking me questions like you want to help and be a good person. I don't buy it. Okay? I hired you for a job. And he blows smoke in your face. And he says, and that's it. Now, I'll get your money, and you can leave.
Fair enough. Thank you for your time.
Okay. He shouts, Thomas! This little young boy from down the stairs comes running up the stairs. And he says, "Go fetch me 1800, please." And the little boy kind of runs down. And he says, "Now, I don't know what you call yourselves or what you want me to call you. But I do have another thing that I need done. if you'd be interested. You did such a wonderful job with this first task. I could really use your help with another. Would you like to make more money?
I mean, depends on what the job is.
Very well. And pardon me, I suppose I basically just told you to leave, but I realized that maybe you could be of use for me for something else I need. You see, I'm sure you have seen the Emerald Seekers around town, led by a man named Frostmaiden.
Yeah, we've heard of them.
Well, I will tell you that I've employed them before, and they've been quite good for me. They do their job, and leave me alone, which is kind of what I need. However, I've recently gotten wind that they might be plotting a certain something against me, going against what they had been tasked with. Getting off course, we'll say. Okay. Now, I forgot, what was your name again? Cyril Single? You look like a good man. How important is money to you? And to the rest of you? You willing to make a big chunk of change? Does that interest you? Maybe do something just between you and me? What do you say?
Depends on how much it pays.
My kind of man. Well, you see, the Emerald Seekers are now wanted criminals, okay? Now, this needs to stay very, very confidential. I want you to bring them to me bound. If you bring them to me bound, let's say you wanted a lot of money. Tell you what. I'll give you 5,000 gold pieces if you bring them to me bound. Unharmed. Well, you can harm them a little bit, but you're not killing them. And all of them. What I do with them is my business, not yours. What do you say? Also, why are you the only one that talks?
Your thing's
Can the dwarf speak? Can the giant speak?
Indeed.
What do they have to say? Do they speak common? Can they understand me?
Indeed they can. Quite well, actually. I represent our party as a single speaking voice to make things easy. As I'm sure you understand as a businessman, sometimes it's better when there's one voice representing your corporation.
Yes. Too many cooks in the kitchen is not a good thing.
Indeed. Well, I suppose we need to receive payment for our prior task before we can...
Of course. I'm
Consider
a
it.
man of my word. Thomas, where are you? After a minute or two, Thomas comes out and he has a big stack of coins. There we go. As promised. You did your work.
They seem dangerous. Could we get some payment up front? We may need some goods to bring them in alive.
He says yes. chances are you're going to probably have to take them by force. Not a very willing crew. Well, I suppose if you can bring them here willingly and then somehow bind them, but no. All right. Tell you what. I'll give you 2,000 now. 3,000 when you bring them here alive. What do you say?
Deal.
I concur.
The giant does speak.
Likes his
well.
money. What can I say?
Another thing that is a part of this deal is no questions asked. I like to keep everything tight knit, and I like the people that I hire to just do their job and be done.
And I like gold.
Well, perfect. Then we have a deal. Thomas? Thomas runs down. And he says, also, the Emerald Seekers have been hanging around this interesting person. Supposedly some sort of sorcerer of sorts.
All right. And who is this individual?
To be honest, I don't know. They're new in town. Came from the south. Not native of the 10 towns. They're an exotic person of sorts. Anyways, they seem to be getting quite chum with them. Bring them as well to me, please. I want to make it. Well, they've been seen cavorting with the Emerald Seekers quite a bit. It's a young male, dressed exotically. You'll be able to spot him. I am concerned for his potentiality in the criminal behavior of the Emerald Seekers. Just want to make sure that he is not involved in any way, but we will need to question him privately. So bring him to me, please.
All right. Well, consider it done.
Wonderful. And then Thomas brings up more gold and says, well, I didn't think we'd be such copacetic business partners, but it's sure working out well.
Indeed it has.
Wonderful, Cyril. Be off now. Think you can bring them to me by tomorrow?
We'll see what we can do.
Fair enough. Do not wait until tomorrow evening, because I have gotten word that that's when potentially they are planning the heist to come, and I don't even know what they're going to do. I assume rob me. Not even worried about that, honestly. But if you could bring them to me before then, actually, bring them to me before then, otherwise our deal's off.
Fair enough.
Sound good?
Sounds fair.
We'll see you then, Cyril.
See you then. Can I make an insight check to see
Yes.
if I notice anything off in him?
Yes.
An 11.
An 11. Okay. Now I suppose everybody can make an insight check if you want. You're all there.
Yeah.
Nat 20, so 25.
Wow. Oh. Snorri the quiet dwarf just in the back, like. Well, Snorri. Let's see. 2 cents. You feel very uneasy. Yeah, you feel uneasy just being around him. You feel as if there were many times where he was acting and putting on a show and wasn't being who he was. You also kind of just got like a creepy, weird vibe from him. Just did not leave your stomach feeling good. You kind of wanted to leave ASAP. And you got this sort of imminent sense of dread the longer you are around.
Try and be honest. Yeah.
And as the guard is escorting you out, the one that recognized you, just says, "Good day, good day."
And as we're walking out,
Yeah.
could I take a look around and see if there's anything out of place or
Sure, make a perception check.
unusual? 14.
Okay. As after the guard says good day and turns around, you almost don't catch it, Arid, but you can see a small little marking on the back of the guard's neck that appears to be a spiral. That is what end our adventure
Son of a bitch.
today.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I think he's a totally stand-up guy. I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, we should just go capture them and turn them in and
Yeah,
go on our way.
yeah, dude. Problem solved. It's all about that money. Well played, Aaron. I'll go to gold.
Yes. Just playing into who he figured I was.
Yeah, the
Dumb guy.
stereotypes he has for you. And then, lo and behold, we're gonna bring him bound, and we'll show him who's boss.
One
Yeah.
syllable word.
Dude, that was okay. Now I'm glad we came here and chatted with him.
Yeah, and we got paid. Hey.
Yeah, dude. And we got paid in advance.
Mhm.
That's an additional
Yeah.
500 each up front.
Oh yeah, so let's disseminate the gold before I forget.
Yeah.
Or however you, I don't. Do you guys all pool it in one, or do you separate it out? I forget. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we've been dividing it equally.
Dividing it. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and so he gave you so for the first mission, he gave you 1,800 gold pieces, and then the second one he gave you 2,000.
And then I would love to challenge to demonstrate my
Got in my notes that it was 5,000 for the.
Yeah. Yeah. He gave you
give us
1,800.
2,000 up front. Or wait, what?
No, I have in my notes that it was 5,000 for
The original?
Yeah.
So Silas, after you must have forgotten. So after this, you remember that indeed he promised you 5,000 gold pieces, and he only gave you 1,800.
I'm gonna
Oh,
cut
we
this.
got robbed.
Also, are we sure that this is not counterfeit? Anybody able to check that?
Yeah, can we do a check?
Dude.
Yeah, sure.
So, for example, I could like
Hi.
Yeah, just make a straight intelligence roll for that.
Right, the smartest.
Whoa.
Oh no!
Let's see. Wait.
Oh.
18.
18?
I'm smart.
Okay, Zafira. So like right as you're walking out, so Arid is seeing the symbol. Right as you're walking out, suddenly it flashes, and you're like, wait a minute. This doesn't add up. But you're still in his house. Do you want to do anything? You're not. Yeah. So you just remembered as you're being escorted out that he didn't pay you what he said he was going to pay you.
Push our luck.
You can also just not say anything, and because you're the only one that remembers.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Right. Pressure.
Because it might look suspicious if you start whispering with your people as you're
Yeah,
exiting.
yeah.
Because the guards are like by the way, the guards are all surrounded you all. So like
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
Got you.
We're
Okay.
gonna get out of there.
Okay. So then obviously you get out. And, yeah, we'll pick up that next session. So yeah, so we didn't pay you. You didn't pay you.
Oh
So
no,
that's-
buddy, stand up.
9,500 each, I think.
Buddy, stand up.
Not 9,500,
Yeah.
950.
Yeah, 9.
Oh, okay. Wow. So everyone got 950. Cool. Wow. So what's everyone's gold at right now? Did y'all have a bunch of gold before that, or not really?
We had
Yeah, I had quite a bit. I've got 1,638 now.
One more copy?
Yeah, I got about 1650. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like silvered weapons probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
This is bullshit.
As a side note,
Yeah.
if we're gonna deal with ghosts and stuff.
Okay.
Are there silvered weapons in the shop anymore?
You can have weapons silvered.
Oh, okay.
It's 100 gold, and they just like put silver on your weapon,
Gotcha.
which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Can I have some Geralt swords?
Yeah, dude.
Silver sword.
So excited.
many.
Silver sword. Cool, everybody. Well, thanks for playing. So we'll pick up again in 2 weeks, roughly. I'll let you know if I can do Sunday. I might not be able to because I'm kind of have a lot on my plate right now.
If
but I
we
can
can
for sure.
do during the week, that'd be probably
okay.
primo, if possible.
Okay. If y'all
That
want
works for
to,
us.
so my schedule's ridiculous right now. I can only do like Mondays.
Okay.
That's totally
That's it.
fine by us. I don't know if it works for other folks.
Yeah. So kind of like today, I could do this again. Otherwise, I can do Sunday days. That's like the only options I have at the moment. I'm working on not having a crazy schedule, but yeah, I just have a crazy schedule right now. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monday in 2 weeks.
Works for me.
If folks
Yeah.
are around.
Okay.
That would be
Sure. Okay, we can do that. We can do Monday in 2 weeks. I'll put it on my calendar now so I remember. Yeah, that's totally fine.
yay.
It's totally fine. Cool, everybody. Well, have a good 2 weeks, everyone, and we'll catch up
I love you
on
guys.
next session. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cheers, all.
Friends.
Bye. Have a good
See ya.
night.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.